It's 7 o'clock, so I would like to call the March 18th meeting of the Economic Development Commission to order. And we have a quorum. We've got Nicole Sweeney, June Gagney, Ava Colonna, and myself, Mary Ann Chinati. Approval of minutes from the January 21st meeting. Do we has everyone had a chance to review?
Yes.
Do we have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Public participation. Anyone in the public wishing to address the commission? We have none. Reports. I have a lot, well, quite a bit to talk about tonight, but the first thing I would like to do is introduce our new economic development and grant writing support staff, Jordan Lumpkins. Jordan, if you could introduce yourself to the commission and say a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so like you said, my name is Jordan. I started about a month and a half ago. Before that, I was, at the beginning of COVID, I spent a year working for the town of Oxford, Massachusetts, and finishing up getting my master's in public administration from Clark. Before that, I graduated from UConn, and I have experience also working in, I worked in child support for the state of Rhode Island for a while, and I also worked in the Department of Health. So I have some state and municipal background, and big fan of free money, so grants, work for that, and I'm here to support you in any way possible.
Thank you. And one thing he neglected to say, he's from town,
Yes, yes.
2015 graduate of Plainfield High School.
Yes.
So we're really glad to have him on board. Now, I'm sure you're all aware, the Amazon development on Lakewood Road made it through planning and zoning on March 9th. They are hoping to get their building permit applications submitted mid to the end of April and hopefully break ground sometime in July. That is going to be an absolutely wonderful development for the town. It's going to bring in a lot of businesses, a lot of workers. The trickle-down effect is amazing. And just since them coming to town has been publicized, it's amazing how many calls I've gotten from companies looking to locate here or relocate here. And, what have you got available for us? So, everything's preliminary right now, but the interest is absolutely wonderful. Working on a DECD brownfield grant application for the Edgewater site. Those are due on April 7th. Hopefully that will be approved because that site desperately needs to be redeveloped, and it's in a perfect location. It's been talked about for how many years now, and nothing's happened. So hopefully this time will be the charm. And the Eastern Connecticut Land Bank is working on an DECD brownfield grant application for the former command property and a total of 11 properties that used to belong to command, as well as the Keystone Cleaners site over in Moosa, as a package application. And hopefully that will be approved as well. So we could potentially have two really great projects coming up on that. Jordan's helping me with a grant application for installation of period lighting over at the municipal parking lot next to the Wolfsbrook Cafe on Railroad Avenue, which is desperately needed. That parking lot serves the businesses downtown. Some of the businesses, that's the only parking they have. And at night, it's not the safest location. So hopefully that will be approved as well. Does anyone else have anything? Okay. Moving on to old business, EDC plan updates. I don't have anything on this. Does anyone else? I have been remiss and have not met with my co-project approval yet, which I apologize for, but I have nothing to report on this.
Oh, I have another idea, but maybe next time I can bring you some information where I had an idea for, and I guess I can tell you, postcards. We have some motels around here, and I know this may sound like going backwards when we have everything's digital now. But people travel and they come through town and they go to the restaurants and they go to the motels. And I was thinking about the EDC, maybe we could rejuvenate the idea of having postcards. And I do have some sources. I have photographs and I do have sources for ordering them, and they're not that expensive.
I love that idea.
So,
I love
you know,
that
put
idea.
some racks and maybe even charge a little bit, like 50 cents a postcard, so we get the money back. But I know we have a budget, I don't know how much is in it, but I'll get some more information on actually doing it.
Okay, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
I love that idea. Okay, next on the agenda is item F, new business. We have Daniel Blanchett with J&D Civil Engineers here to talk about two proposals for a couple of lots in the industrial park. Daniel?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Daniel. I work with J&D Civil Engineers. I'm going to have to exclude the audience a little bit. I apologize. I'll bring 11 by 17s next time. And I'm a professional engineer. I'm here to represent my client, Edgewater Construction, for two projects in the industrial park. As Marianne alluded to earlier, one with Amazon, there is a lot of business interest coming up in the town, and so both these projects are investments for my client. There's not a specific use at this time. The idea is really, build it and they will come. So, and I'll start with lot 7. This lot's on the west side of East Parkway, and basically we're proposing to build a 12 to 15,000 square foot industrial building. There are wetlands to the south of the property and a little drainage channel that conveys water from the street. Otherwise, most of the site is high and dry. It's not too steep. It's a really nice property, actually. So, again, we're proposing to disturb about 2 acres of the 2.5 acres. The site will be 35% impervious when all is said and done. You can see, just to kind of walk you through the site, the driveway will enter at the north side of the property. It's kind of steep on the south side. There'll be a parking area in front here, parking on the side, and then people will drive around to some loading docks in the back. You can see we have a lot of stormwater features here, a large stormwater basin here. We have a swale here and another basin here. So the stormwater has all been designed according to all the necessary guidelines. There's no increase in the peak discharge for the stormwater. That's pretty it. I should say that these properties are still owned by the town at the moment, and it's my understanding my client has a purchase and sales agreement pending all the approvals and permits getting in place. There is an encroachment by Lot 4 on the corner of our property. This business has kind of bled over into our corner because the site was vacant for so long, and I believe Lot 4 is going to work on cleaning that up for us. So that's a real high-level overview or presentation. I'll be happy to take any questions on this site.
I can attest, Ryan did reach out to Concrete Floors, and they are working toward getting that area cleaned up.
Perfect.
So, now you have, Edgewater doesn't have any proposed or conceptual use of the building right now.
Not at this moment, no. They're proposing to build a very generic industrial building, find someone to lease it or possibly purchase it, and then at that point, maybe they go in and finish it, add some interior walls, some conveyor belts, whatever you might need. So yeah, at this time, there's not a specific industry or business in mind.
Anyone have any questions?
That was my question too.
Oh, okay.
Probably prepare it and they'll come.
They will come.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Now, as we know, planning and zoning requires review and recommendation from EPC before they can make a decision on the applications for any construction and work in the industrial park. Now, this has not been submitted to P&Z yet, but Daniel is getting all the ducks in a row. He has wetland applications in.
Yep, those were accepted on Tuesday.
So we want to act on each of these. He's got another one to present. Do we want to act on each of them individually, or do we want to act on them together?
No, I think individually.
Okay. Okay, so what does everyone think about lot 7?
I think it sounds like a good idea.
Okay. So do you want to make a motion?
Use that. Yeah, I'll motion to accept it.
Okay, discussion? Could I just add one, maybe modification, if you're agreeable? Recommend that the commission approve the construction, but when a tenant is proposed, to come back to the commission to make sure that the use
That's
is
the right
appropriate
use.
to the area.
Is it your experience, you don't always know, you pass something and then you're sorry later, or have you had that experience?
Well, it's just that we don't know right now.
Right.
And the unknown.
Right, it's like insurance policy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So do you want to modify?
Yes, I will modify it to depend on what they have to come back to the EDC in order to, when someone decides to rent it or buy what they're going to use it for, it has to
Okay.
pass through us. So I'll make that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Motion carries. On to lot 12.
Excellent, thank you, everyone. We'll be submitting zoning applications for these next week. All right, so now this is lot 12 in the industrial park. This property is right at the corner of Center Parkway and East Parkway. This is a tricky site. There's a lot of wetlands. There's a giant pocket of wetlands that goes right up the center of the property. There's also a pocket in the southeast corner. Now, when the town was designing or building the industrial park, and maybe Mary Ann knows more about this, but it's my understanding that the town already obtained permission to fill those wetlands from the Army Corps. It's about 10,000 square feet of wetlands to fill. The Wetlands Commission did decide that that's a significant activity, so we'll be having a public hearing next month at that meeting. But in this, you can see the concept's a little different. We have 3 separate buildings. 3 separate buildings, and each is made up of, again, smaller sections. A lot of times these are referred to as contractor condos. And again, the idea is that the buildings are built, and then each one of these units would be leased to a different tenant. Maybe a plumber, an electrician, who wants a workshop and an area to kind of base his operation out of. So you can see, again, we have 4 units here, 3 units here. Each unit's 20 by 50. It'll have a large, oversized garage door on the front, so you can drive in with a large truck. Again, any kind of heavy equipment that you have. There'll also be a smaller personal door that leads to a little office space, a little bathroom. So again, so each of these units is really self-sufficient. And then up here we have 5 units, each a little bigger. Those are 30 by 50. We have 2 driveways. We come in off Center Parkway, and then we can connect through to East Parkway. So there's 2-way traffic flow in both directions, again, to help turning movements for large trucks. You can see, again, we have all kinds of stormwater features here. We have a basin here to collect runoff. We have a basin here to collect runoff. A lot of the site kind of drains down to here into the wetlands and then into that drainage ditch that you saw in my previous property. Again, before entering the municipal storm system. And the same thing with this little part of the site, the northwest corner is going to be treated and then eventually enter the town's drainage system as well. And then, I don't know if you're familiar, the town has a very robust drainage system for the industrial park. If you keep on going all the way down past BH Trailers, at the end of the cul-de-sac, there's a large basin, a very large infiltration basin. And again, it's designed to kind of handle some of these increases.
Is this,
No, sorry.
is this like there's one in Putnam? There's a place like this where you can go and pick up supplies. A Northeast Flooring uses a couple of the bays. Is it similar to that, like storage facility for, you mentioned for plumbers or?
Electricians, yeah, I think,
Electricians.
yeah. Basically, they would store raw.
Basically like a storage
Yeah.
facility, but for business.
Exactly, where these contractors would store their pipes and their wires, go there. Again, there's an office space, they would pay their bills, they'd load up for the day, take off in their truck.
So, yeah, they load up, there's a little bit of traffic, but
Yeah,
not a lot.
exactly, yeah, even carpenters. And again, partially, I think it's tied in with the Amazon warehouse. It's my understanding that when a big warehouse comes in, you need littler warehouses to feed it. You know, some of the kind of the independent people that operate on Amazon. And so there's a hope that some people might be using it for that as well.
What's the lot coverage for this one, Daniel?
Yep, so this site's also about the same size, 2.4 acres. The other one was 2.5. This one is going to be 33% impervious. So again, it's very similar amount of development as the previous lot. The total size of the building, again, is 14,500 square feet. So it's a very similar size project, just broken up a little differently. The entire site's within the upland review area because of all the wetlands on site, so everything has to get wetlands approval. But I think that's pretty much it.
I have maybe it's a stupid question, but could you just show me how they would be, like, going in off of the road and where they would be able to travel around those?
Of course, yes. So there's a two-way entrance right here. And then this is a parking lot with a little turning space here. And again, this is all parking lot. And then you can enter or exit here. So there's two-way traffic all through here and again through here as well.
And in the inner portion is where, like, the garage bay.
Exactly, yeah. There's garage doors on the front of each of these and a small person door. So again, people will be driving their trucks in, load up for the day, do whatever work they have to.
Thank you.
Of course.
I think it's a fantastic idea. You know, we have our, smaller, like you was mentioning, electricians, plumbers. You know, a lot of the ones in town run it from their home.
Yeah.
But, if you have someone that is a renter or looking for a space, I think it's perfect.
Exactly,
Smaller
yeah. A small
size.
business person who doesn't want to build a giant office
Yep.
or work out of their
Or
home.
have the need for
Right.
a large one, or they're
Yeah.
too big for their house.
So Daniel, is that what they would be doing? They would be renting these spaces?
Yes,
not
yes.
owning it?
Yes, no, each of these spaces, again, Edgewater will own this facility, or maybe one of their subsidiaries, I don't know, but Edgewater will own it and they would rent out each unit to a separate individual or entity.
That's a fantastic idea.
I do too. Any other questions? Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion.
I'll second.
I'd like to fourth, but nobody's listening. All we need is a fourth, okay. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Daniel, thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, executive session, we don't have one. Correspondence, everyone got the news, updated trade name listing. Other than that, I don't have anything. So, motion.
I'll have a question, actually.
Okay.
You mentioned this is my first meeting in a while due to COVID.
And when you get it, Nicole, I thought that it had already been sent out to all the members, but when you get it, look through it and see what tasks you think you'd like to take on, and let me know. And if it's something that, others are working on, it can be a collaborative effort, okay?
And then I'm no longer working in the town of Plainfield. Is that an issue? I'm living here still.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, anything else? Motion to adjourn is in order?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries at what time, June?
It is 7:21.
Thank you very much. And we will see everybody next month.
Yeah.